In the last video, we looked at how to set up QBO for a nonprofit. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the chart of accounts. In particular, we'll look at how to access the chart of accounts in two ways, and then how to turn on the number feature. And then after that, we'll look at uploading a file. So with that, let's dive right into it. Note that this is not accounting or tax advice. Upcoming videos include customizing a chart of accounts, understanding grant accounting, restricted and conditional grants, and 1099s. Now here we are at the dashboard. Look at that icon on the top right. The top right, the gear sign, that's how you get to the chart of accounts. So we go over to that gear icon and select chart of accounts, and we see the chart of accounts without account numbers. So gear account and chart of accounts. So let's move away from the screen so we can access it a different way. So we go to Accountant Tools, and then we select Chart of Accounts. And once again, we see it without the account numbers. There's another menu bar up here on the plus new. It has lots of powerful functions, but Chart of Accounts is not one of them. So let's go back to the gear icon and company settings to turn on the company numbers or the Chart of Accounts numbers. Select Advanced, scroll down to Chart of Accounts, select the Edit button, toggle that switch, click the Show Account Numbers, save. And then when we refresh the screen, we'll see, there we are, the chart of accounts with the account numbers showing. And that's how you turn on the chart of accounts. When you sort that, you'll see some of them don't have account numbers. These are accounts that we're not using. The ones with numbers are the ones that we're using. Let's resort that. This is the traditional view with cash at the top, bank accounts, accounts receivable, and I would leave that alone as it is. Contributions receivable for pledges, grants, etc. Inventories for sale and for use. Investments, fixed operating expenses, and the related accumulated depreciation. And I always set up Ask Client in different places for assets, liabilities, etc. So we can post entries and follow up on details later. Looking at credit cards, here are two credit cards that are not sub-accounts of the main credit card. So let's go ahead and change one. Go over to the right, click that caret, select Edit, and now click Make this a sub-account. Now we have to choose the parent account, and that's the credit card account, and save it, and we'll see it's indented. We'll do that again for the second card so you can follow along. So that's how you make accounts sub-accounts. Then we have temporarily restricted funds, unrestricted net assets, and revenue, restricted and unrestricted. There are a number of ways you can decide to account for revenue recognition in QBO. We provided a range of accounts here. You'll have to customize this. You might want to watch our other videos on revenue recognition so you can choose the model that best fits your needs. Sales of product, and then we move on to expenses. We've got officer salaries, employee salaries, payroll taxes. Moving over to the next page, we see another Ask My Accountant in the expense buckets. And then we have contract services, facility equipment, travel and meeting expenses, business expenses, non-personnel expenses. So that's the chart of accounts and how you get to it and how you turn on the function. Now, the run report doesn't get you anything, but if you click on that little caret there, you see an import option. So that would mean that we should be able to import a file. But when you click on that new account, we can set up a new account here, but we're not going to do that. We're actually going to try and figure out how to import a file. So to do that, we've got to create a file. And so I've created a file, and here it is. The file has a header, nonprofit COA. It's called account plus list. And then a second line with account list, a third line that's blank, fourth blank, and the fifth line has the column descriptors, which is account type and detail type. The file is called account plus list. So let's go ahead and save this file and then look at importing it. Import, browse and search for the file. And we see account plus list right there. Select that. and upload. Click the next on the bottom right, and we're seeing that none of these things seem to match. And this is because the file is not in the correct format. We had headers when we shouldn't have headers. So let's fix that and bring it back. So here it is. The headers have been removed. Now we only have the column descriptors: account, type, detail type, and description. Let's exit that and browse. And there it is, account list ready for upload, upload ready. And next, and 3 of the 4 are matched. The account number is not matched. So back to the source file, and this is how you get the file properly configured. And add that header number up there: number, account, type, detail type. And then we have description. Detail, account number, and type. So that's it. We don't need the description field, so we'll delete that. So now we'll exit this now that it's matched, and we'll upload it. So it's important to get the file properly formatted. So now that we have a file that I think is properly formatted, let's browse, select that upload ready file, and click next. And all of them show a check mark. So we're ready to go to the next step now. And we can see 126 accounts are ready to be imported. So this is all good to go. In this case, when I import, you'll see some errors because this is a duplicate of what we've uploaded before. So let's look at it. 120, none of them were imported. And that's because all these account names already exist in the chart of accounts. So you don't have to worry about duplication. But if you select that import button, if it's the first time you're doing it, it'll import those accounts. And that's how you import a chart of accounts. So looking at the chart of accounts here, we see it's all there. And you select that caret to import a new chart of accounts. So this could mean that you could add a couple of accounts if you're looking to add just a few. So the process is pretty straightforward. And that brings us to the end of this video on how to get to the chart of accounts, how to turn on the numbers, and how to upload a file. We'll provide in the link below, as I said earlier, a small file for you to play with on a chart of accounts for a nonprofit that you can customize. And after a couple of months, we'll take that off. And if you think you need it, go ahead and post a comment and we'll repost it for a few more months. I hope you found this video helpful, and please comment below on other things that you'd like to see. Thank you so much for watching.